Greetings and hello, ladies and gentlemen. Greetings from Malaysia. My name is Iril Jaime, and I will be presenting this keynote address for the 19th ICTEL conference, which is held online. I am going to tell you today about talent development in the context of a developing nation, which is my own country, Malaysia. Why is talent development very important in this era of fourth industrial revolution and also the era of education 4.0? Well, first and foremost, for a developing country like Malaysia, we need academic talents and we need to develop them at all levels of society, starting from primary and secondary education or high school, moving on to college and university students, and later on we also need to develop our lecturers, our tutors, our university instructors. It is very, very important for us to focus on talent development in an age of disruption. This is due to the fact that, as Hert Leonhardt says, whatever is happening in the next 20 years will be equal to whatever happened in the last 300. So, regarding my presentation, I will begin by telling you the story of our first initiative for talent development called Potential Project. Potential Project is a special project meant for students, young learners, especially from the ages of 9, 10, 11, 12. And these are primary school students. We take them in to our university and we help to nurture their inner potential. We train them in the multiple intelligences. We try to help them in terms of their life skills, and we show them all the things that they need to do and to know before they can become really good students. Now, in terms of Potential Project, we try to focus not just on students from high economic families, socio-economic families, but also for students from poorer families. This is an excellent project because it helps as a community-based project, and it helps for CSR for our university. When students come in, we train them, for example, in critical thinking. We also give them life skills, for example, learning how to do simple agricultural projects, learning about cooking, culinary skills, and also other important life skills. So Potential Project is the beginning of 3 projects that we focus on to help nurture and develop young talents. It is also very interesting to share with you that Potential Project actually focuses on a lot of gamification and simulations. We try to put the students, the young children, under pressure, for example, in a good way, to give them opportunities that they do not get in class, which is only focused on reading from the textbooks and doing their own homework. But when we take them into university, it's part of GATE, or Gifted and Talented Education Program, even though it's open to everyone. So we use GATE, we try to apply GATE, but in a broader way, in a broader context, to help develop and nurture the potential of young children, especially those from the lower income bracket, or in Malaysia we call them the B40 group or bottom 40 group. This is an excellent way we find to nurture young talents and to help create new talents for the future from the very beginning, from primary school up to secondary school level or high school level. Now, after that, other than focusing on Potential Project for the young children, we also have another branch of Potentia project, and it's called Potentia IR40. Potential IR40, Industry 40, is meant for the bigger students, the older students, right? For university and college level students. And more interestingly, this program is meant not just for Malaysians, but also for students in the ASEAN region, including our immediate neighbors, for example, Brunei, our friends in the Republic of Indonesia, and other nation states. Now, what happens is we bring them in, we take these ASEAN students in, and we teach them skills, for example, intercultural skills. But the focus of Potentia IR40 is on the 10 skills as outlined by the World Economic Forum, the critical skills for Industry 4.0. As we know, the Future of Jobs report comes out every 2 years, if I'm not wrong. So we focus on those skills as outlined in the Future of Job reports. And what we do is we train all these university students, college students, polytechnic students, by the way, TVET, technical vocational education students, and we take them in and we bring them together, put their heads together, bring their minds together, and we make them work on projects. For example, helping them to do negotiation skills, helping them to do creative thinking and critical thinking. We give them projects that they have to do together, even though they are from different cultures and they speak different languages. So this is a very, very good way we find to develop and nurture skills and the potential of university students. Again, the gap that we see is that students at university and in school in developing nations, there is a lot of focus on textbooks, on learning things which are meant to be learned by rote, right? So the application, the knowledge application side needs focus, and that's where we come in. That's where our project fits in. It's not a large project. It's not supported by companies or even the government. What we do is we collect some funds from the participants themselves and their colleges, their universities. As for Potentia Gate, for the younger children, their parents contribute some money, and the rest we contribute our own money as CSR to help nurture and develop young talents from primary school level, secondary school level, high school level, and then up to university level. Right. So what happens then after that? There is another program that we work on that we call FLY. FLY. FLY stands for Future Learning Initiatives. Now, FLY or FLY Lab is meant not for young children and teenagers and adolescents, university students, but it's meant for university lecturers, tutors, instructors. FLY focuses on developing content developers for the future. We want future-oriented tutors, instructors, lecturers, because we need them to come up with new modules, new subject matters, explainer videos. We need them to work on new technologies, for example, virtual reality, augmented reality, using bots, development of bots, IoT, whatever new technologies that can be applied to the teaching and learning diet. What we do is Fly Lab looks at this, and we focus on a few very highly talented and technologically oriented young people, young lecturers, newcomers into tertiary education, and we give them the exposure they need to work on certain projects, and we help them together with myself. We work with them, and we do wonderful things together. For example, creating simple explainer videos that can help, especially in this time of a global pandemic. Explainer videos are extremely helpful and useful for our university students, for instance, because we have to do online learning, e-learning, remote teaching, and remote learning. And we try to develop also new materials to help augment old teaching from textbooks. Rote learning now doesn't work so much with the younger generation, not with Generation Alpha, not with Generation Z. So a lot of future-oriented work is happening at our university, at our campus, and in our nation. Again, this is not a government initiated project. This is our university initiated project. And what we try to do is to try to open the eyes of others so that they can see the potential of working on this kind of projects. Right. So coming back to this keynote address, what I am trying to share with all of you is to tell you that any kind of talent development must happen from a very young age. Sometimes when we do talent development, we focus only on onboarding newcomers into certain professions. Yeah, but that doesn't work. That doesn't work anymore because we cannot deny that the younger generation now are moving faster and faster. For example, there is no more gap between juniors or seniors. The term juniors and seniors doesn't seem to fit anymore within this new industrial revolution 4.0 era, IR40 era. Whether you accept industry 4.0 as a given fact or you don't accept it, it's the different issue because the technology is there. And because of this technology, what is happening is young people are moving even faster than the elderly ones, right? In terms of the digital technology, the digital knowledge, digital education, of course, the young ones, they are being born into technology. They are being born into technology, and because they are being born into technology, we need to focus on new ways to interact with them, to teach them, to educate them, and to challenge their minds. Now, this is a very, very critical question that needs to be answered not just within developing nations, but of course, this question is very critical for developing nations, but it also needs to be the focus of the whole world. Developing future talents, young talents, from primary school level, secondary school level, high school, preschool, needs to happen. And it goes beyond that to university level students, college level students. And at the same time, we also need to train the instructors, the tutors, the lecturers, the assistant professors, the young educators at tertiary level to be able to teach and to follow whatever these digitally inclined young people are able to do and whatever they can achieve. What can they achieve? Well, they can achieve quite a lot. They can achieve quite a lot. What we see now is we understand a lot of young people, for example, even in our university system, we see a lot of them becoming content creators. They use the knowledge that they have, the current knowledge that they have, the technical knowledge that they have, their degrees, their diplomas are one thing, but at the same time, they are becoming content developers. They use digital technology to create digital artwork, for example. Of course, they also do things like online businesses and all that. And because of this, the the knowledge gap between lecturers who are more more senior, and students who are more young or more junior, the gap is getting closer and closer. And because of this, challenges are happening whereby we see the knowledge that we teach them through textbooks, does not seem to be relevant anymore. Not when they can learn faster using internet search engines, for instance. So these are critical questions. Will we, as educators, as university lecturers, as university professors, instructors, will we still be relevant in the future? Not when we think about it, not will we still be relevant? Will we still be able to teach the way we teach? Not, not when our students are learning in a totally different way and they are learning in a way faster than what we are doing now. In terms of knowledge acquisition, what we can see in our developing nation is a lot is happening on the ground. Students are able to study skills, getting knowledge very quickly on their own, even without the intervention of adults. Now, this again creates a challenge in terms of developing new talents, academically and in other areas. For example, in sports, in whatever skills. Because what we see is they are learning faster and faster. They can learn without the intervention of adults. They are very independent, and their digital knowledge is just wonderful and more than whatever adults or seniors can acquire. So, to end this keynote address, I hope that in future, what will happen is if you are coming from a developing nation context, you will be able to share whatever knowledge you have with us in our own nation, and so that we can continue to develop the talents of young people and adolescents at university level, and also our tertiary educators. We need help in terms of working with you. We need to learn from you, and we hope also we can maybe share certain things that we know with you. We continue our journey now, even though we are living in an era of global pandemic. It's a real challenge, not just for us, but we know it's also for you and everywhere in the world. We pray for your safety. We hope everyone will be okay. But at the same time, this global pandemic has opened up our eyes, has made us even more ready to accept new challenges in terms of developing the young talents that we have. I believe personally, that by developing these potential talents, they will be the next group, the next generation to come in to bring about positive changes, not just within our nation, within our country, not just within the ASEAN region, not just within the Asian region, but also to contribute to the development of the world. The Great Reset has happened. We now need to reset our thinking in terms of developing young talents. Let's develop the talents even from a very young age, from preschool level, from primary school level, elementary school level, up to secondary, high school level, and then up to college and university level. And do not forget, we also need to train the educators ourselves especially, and also the newcomers. The concept of junior and senior doesn't seem to work anymore, because whoever has the knowledge can just move ahead as quickly as she or he can. On that note, I thank you for listening. I wish all of you safety. May all of you be safe, you and your family. And we hope that this global pandemic will end very soon, hopefully. On that note, thank you again for listening, and let's continue to develop our future talents, our future academic talents, from a very young age to adolescents, and also to the instructors and the adults who are teaching these young people. Because this is a challenge that must be met head on. If we cannot do it, then we fail to teach the younger generation. And if we fail to teach them, then, with this challenge that we are facing, what will happen to humanity? Whatever happens in the next 20 years definitely will be more equal to or even more than the changes or the challenges that has happened in the last 300. Thank you for listening. Greetings again. Salam sejahtera. Salam sejahtera. Terima kasih. Terima kasih means thank you from Malaysia. Thank you for listening. And I wish all of you a very, very fruitful conference online. Thank you again to ICTEL 2020 for the 19th ICTEL 2020 for inviting me. And I hope to see you again in 2021. Let's learn from each other. Let's share. And that's it from me. Thank you.